Hi everyone, welcome to Low Sensory Adaptive Yoga for MBS. I'm Audrey, my pronouns are she, her. So today we're going to continue on this yogic teaching of Viveka of discriminative discernment. I'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but let's start with some really gentle movement, and then we'll go into centering, we'll go back to some movement, and then restorative meditation. Of course, you can follow your own practice. You don't have to do what I say, so please interact with my words in a way that suits you best in this moment. But I'm going to start with swaying from side to side, just so that we can start to come back to our body, feel the support beneath you. If you're lying down, you may sway your legs side to side or simply your head. So your chin will go to the right shoulder and then to your left shoulder. Or you may stay in stillness if that feels more appropriate for you right now. And then coming back to center, we're gonna add some space in the heart center. So just lifting our chest. You may also raise the arm on the side, so one arm or two arms. Maybe there's a bit of a back bend here, and we're really trying to open our heart center. And then taking a big inhale. And then on the exhale, you're going to bring the arms towards you and hug yourself. And then here you may add a little sway again. You could rest your cheek on one of your shoulder. Your eyes might be closed or open. And then when your next inhale is coming, you're going to open up again like a big, big butterfly. And then with your next exhale, you're going to bring your arms again towards you. Maybe if you've noticed which arm was on top, then maybe the other arm is on top now. And then just grabbing, hugging yourself, just giving yourself a big hug to start practice, to start your morning or your afternoon, your evening, whenever you're joining us. Maybe you're swaying again from side to side. Maybe your cheek is resting on the shoulder. And just simply breathing and arriving here in this moment all together. And then when that feels good, releasing the arm, releasing any effort and coming back to a seat or a lying down position that feels comfortable for you today. You may also be moving, walking, wheeling, anything that will bring some comfort to you right now. And then your eyes might be closed, or you're starting to find a soft gaze. If that helps you, you may focus on an object or maybe looking outside the window. And we simply, again, arriving here where our body is. In this space, on this seat, on this bed, on this floor, on this earth. With this community, with all these people practicing all together. And in this present moment. So no longer in the past, not yet in the future. as much as possible in this present moment. You may be focusing on the sensation of the body against the seat or the floor or the bed. Or you may be noticing the air touching your skin or the clothes against your skin. Or maybe you're starting to notice your breath, starting already to go inwards. And again, with that intention of openness, of curiosity, of non-judgment. And so last time we talked about this, about Viveka, about discernment. There are many teachings in the Vedic text that talks about Viveka. And one, for example, is in Sutra 2.27. So again, the Yoga Sutras are written by Patanjali. They're one of the foundational texts of yoga. And actually, I read 2.26 and 2.27, which says the unfluctuating awareness of the real is the means for avoidance of avidya. Avidya is ignorance. And there are 7 stages of enlightenment of that Purusha. Purusha is consciousness. And so when we practice, we are trying to attain this discernment, that awareness of the real, of the truth, so that we can avoid avidya, ignorance, move away from this. And avidya is the root of suffering, which is one of the reasons why we want to avoid it. And it's been described as, Viveka has been described as a state of clarity, of light, of tranquility. So in the world we live in, and in the body-mind that we live in, it's not a simple path, right? There's many things that, that are not clear, that are not luminous and light, that are not tranquil. And so that's one of the reasons that why we practice, why we turn up, why we show up. At least that's one of mine. Practice as a path to truth and realization and liberation, liberation for ourselves and the collective. And so as you continue to notice your breath, invite that nature of Viveka, that clarity, that luminosity, that tranquility. If you cannot experience it yet, that's okay. It's not easy, as I said, but we can invite it. And at some level, believe that it is happening, that the experience of it is happening. If your mind wanders from your chosen anchor. So whether that was the sensations, the breath, the air around you, and that's fine, bring it back. Yoga practice is about making that effort to disconnect from those thoughts, or at least not to think that we are these thoughts. So that's okay. Noticing the quality of your breath, maybe depth, the pace, the temperature, the movement it creates in your body, maybe the space that it creates. Maybe it's creating space for Viveka, for clarity, tranquility, luminosity. And then keeping with that nature of Viveka, you may stay in stillness, focusing on your breath, on the body sensations, or you may start to introduce a little bit of movement. So this is your time to listen to your body and have a few minutes to release maybe some tension in a part of the body. I'm twisting from side to side. I'm taking my time. There's no urgency here. We have plenty of time to practice, and it is good sometimes to slow down, giving ourselves permissions to slow down. You may sway from side to side again. You may do that butterfly hug again. You could do some cat and cow, which I'm gonna move to. So arching the back, sorry, rounding the back in cat. And then arching in cow. Making sure you're paying attention to your breath so that it sets maybe the pace. If you're lying down, you could sorry, have a wriggle from side to side, or you could bring your knees to your chest and then your chin to your knees. You could also do rolling of the shoulders a few times, holding your neck from side to side bends, anything, that sounds good to you right now. Doesn't even have to look like a asana. Could be a creation of your own. I'm gonna roll the wrists a few times. My joints haven't been very happy lately, so I'm trying to, at the moment, just send them some love. So I'm holding my wrists because they are very unstable, so I can't actually roll them on their own. But, if that's not you, then you can roll them without holding. Could add a bit of a finger stretch as well. with the arm extended in front of you, or maybe closer to you. Making sure the shoulders are not up. Notice my shoulders when near my head and my ears. And then just let's do the other side. And I'm gonna do some this with the thumb inside, just like adding a bit of tension here, but then release. And then can't do this too much because it hurts. But it's good, like it's just releasing a little bit of tension in the muscles of the hands and the fingers. So just 1 more minute maybe of movement. I'm gonna do a gentle back bend with my arms raised. And then go on to a side bend. Again, you don't have to follow me. I'm just giving some options in case you're a bit stuck, which is fine. And then I'm gonna go into another back bend by doing cactus arm. Or you could go again into a butterfly hug, kind of. And I'm bringing it back. And in the butterfly, when I bring the arms, I'm gonna round a little my spine. And then exhale, opening. And then bringing it back and rounding a little. You could simply shake a little. And then continue with movement if that feels good. Or we may start to move towards stillness or some form of stillness, your own expression of stillness. So you may go into a restorative pose of your choice. If that's shavasana, you can be lying down on your back, on the sides, any side, on the belly. Please bring as many props as you need. Underneath your knees, for example, to support your spine and your head. You could also hold a pillow in front of you, or place it in your lap so that you can rest your arms and your shoulders. Could also elevate the feet. Pretty good if you for blood pressure. May also grab a blanket to add some warmth or some comfort and something to cover your eyes. That feels good. You could also be in forward fold or some version of child's pose, as long as the body feels supported in a place where you can find some stability and some rest. The idea is that there is no more effort to do, at least for your body, so that we can start working on the mind to relax, to let go, and to move to that state of Viveka that I was saying, that place of clarity, of tranquility. So take your time. There's no rush. And that's part of the practice, to take this time to find that first shape, knowing that you can move at any point. You can still be moving. You can add a little bit of movement in that stillness if that feels more supportive to you, more accessible to you today. And then we go back to feeling the support of the seat, the bed, the floor, of the earth, allowing for that support to support us completely. There is no more effort, no clenching, no tensing, really allowing for the chair, the bed to do its job. Allowing the earth to hold us completely as we are. So that we can start to see what we are, who we are, and who we are not. That practice of Viveka, that making space for Viveka to happen. And then starting to go inward, noticing our breath again, and maybe you're noticing any changes from earlier. Noticing again with that sense of curiosity, of allowing, of non-judgment. Whether your breath is slow or fast, whether it's shallow or deep. Noticing if you're adding any backstory, narrative to this noticing. What should my breath be like? Why isn't it deep? Why is my exhale feels this way? Questions are great, but here we're trying to be in a space of allowing what is happening, what is the experience. And then noticing any body sensations. And here you may be noticing some discomfort, some tension, some pain. Or you may be noticing some ease, some energy, warmth. And so again, we aiming to move away from that judgment of what should be happening, what should be my experience. but simply allowing that experience to happen. And here there's might be a multiplicity of truth. So we could have pain and ease, could have discomfort and ease. And in the world we live in, with all the binaries, all our conditioning, all our way of labeling stuff in boxes of right and wrong, it is hard to think that my body can house both grief and joy, as Mary Oliver says. But that is true, isn't it? So there might be pain and ease. Taking a moment to notice what is the experience here. And maybe noticing any emotions or feelings that arise. Again, allowing that experience. And again, allowing doesn't mean accepting or feeling okay with it, with what's happening, whether that's what would be labeled as a good emotion or a bad feeling or something. But allowing is saying, yes, you are here. And in that practice, when we make space for allowing for experience to be, to exist, then maybe we're making more space for what we would like to experience. So if there's grief, allowing that grief is also allowing joy. So taking a moment to notice any emotions, any feelings, with again that sense of Viveka, of curiosity, of even courage. And if that is too much, then come back to your breath, come back to body sensations, the support of your seat of your bed, that is okay. Keep yourself safe. And then for once, I'm gonna propose that you notice your thoughts. Where are they taking you? And again, not judging, simply noticing what's happening in your thoughts. And we're not connecting to these thoughts, we're noticing. We're allowing those thoughts. It is part of the human experience. And so they're part of us as well, in some ways. And at least that practice of yoga is asking us to notice and to notice it exists. They exist. They're part of our experience. And then the practice is not to get attached to those thoughts. That they are part of the experience, but they are not us. Just like we are not our emotions, we are not our feelings, we are not our body sensations, we are not our body, we are not our mind. So who are you? You are Purusha, pure consciousness. So noticing maybe the fluctuating thoughts, where they go. And then come back to your breath. Come back to your body. Come back to the here and now. If you are still noticing your thoughts, that's absolutely fine. That's what minds do. So you can say, okay, okay. Bring it back to your breath. Or bring it back to feeling the support of your seat, the floor, the bed. Bringing it back to the earth. Bring it back to Viveka. Or as my teacher, Jivana Heyman says, that clarity that lifts us above the clouds of the mind to a place where the sun is always shining. So let's be in that place, above the clouds of the mind to a place where the sun is always shining for a few minutes in silence. And as we prepare to exit this practice, I hope you can keep that clarity, that state of Viveka with you throughout your day, so that you can show up for yourself and for others, for the earth. And so let's bring our attention to heart center. You may place your hands on the body, on the heart center, or in Anjali Mudra. Fingertips and heels of the palms touching, thumbs against the heart as a gesture of gratitude. And let's start with ourselves. Gratitude for showing up, for this body, mind that allows us to house both grief and joy. Gratitude for the sacred practices of yoga, indigenous to South Asia, and all our teachers, and practitioners before us that have protected these practices so that we can still benefit from them today as a guest of this lineage. Gratitude for the earth as it continues to hold us and nurture us, and all the indigenous spirits of this land. We keep on protecting it, and especially all those we keep fighting for access to the sovereign land. Gratitude for this community as it allows us to be together, to practice, for all the support, the wisdom, the laughter. Gratitude for all the people around us who show up, who support us so that we can be here today. And then if you like, you may dedicate the merit of this practice to someone, a being, a group of beings, a cause, a land, so that they can also benefit from it. To serve this intention, I'll offer a blessing of metta, loving kindness, which you may join or listen, and you may also adapt it to as you wish. May all beings everywhere with no limits, including ourselves, be happy, be well, be at ease and at peace. May all beings be free and liberated. Please bring some gentle movement back into the body. You may blink your eyes open, welcoming back to light, coming back into your own space. Coming back to one another. Very gently, take your time. If you have more space and time to stay in practice, then please do so. And I thank you very much for showing up, for being here.